Good evening and welcome to a summary of the news at 10. Prime Minister Abdullah Mansour said that major political reforms in Jordan will be accomplishing the party's municipalities and elections laws. At a meeting with a coalition of leftists and nationalist parties in the presence of Minister of Political and Parliamentary Affairs Khalid Kalalde, Mansour said the government submitted a draft elections law, which is an advanced one and contributes towards development of political life. The Prime Minister said that the municipalities and local governance decentralization draft laws will be presented to the Cabinet soon for discussion and approval. He noted that they will be published on its website or through media outlets to receive comments of citizens on the two draft laws. The two laws, he said, will increase public participation in decision-making on development, mainly in remote areas. On the draft elections law, Mansour said it has not yet presented to the Cabinet. 9 Palestinians arrived at the Al-Hussein Medical Center after being wounded during the Israeli aggression on the Gaza Strip. The Prime Minister earlier visited the 6 Gazans, including 2 women and a child, who are currently undergoing treatment at the center. Mansour was briefed by Director of the Royal Medical Services, Major General Khalaf al-Sarhan, about the services and medication being provided to the wounded. Upon the directives of His Majesty King Abdullah, the Jordanian Field Hospital in Gaza will be provided with extra staff to deal with the escalating situation. The Prime Minister said more Palestinians will be arriving in the kingdom for medical treatment, reiterating the kingdom's position, which calls on Israel to stop its assault on Gaza and to refrain from targeting civilians. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas also visited the injured Palestinians who are currently receiving treatment at the Hussein Medical Center. Abbas thanked His Majesty the King for his directives to provide the best medical care for the injured. He also thanked the Jordanian people and the medical staff at the center for the care and attention given to the injured Gazans. Israeli shelling killed 4 boys from one family and critically wounded another on a Gaza beach. It also destroyed the house of Hamas political leader Mahmoud Zahar in Gaza. Israel urged the evacuation of several districts in the Gaza Strip where more than 100,000 people live, threatening ground operations to try to stem the rocket attacks. We get more details in this report.
This was the home of Hamas political leader Mahmoud Zahar in Gaza. It was destroyed in an Israeli airstrike, apparently targeting a top Hamas official for the first time in the current conflict. Zahar is thought to be in hiding elsewhere. Israel said it had also warned residents in the northern Gaza Strip to leave their homes ahead of further attacks. Gaza's Interior Ministry dismissed the warnings as psychological warfare. The Israeli action follows the collapse of an Egyptian brokered truce rejected by Hamas.
There's no truce at all. Hamas won't accept a truce. Hamas says we live in a prison. There'll be no truce unless they open the crossings, free our prisoners and get us medicine.
They have everything, tanks and aircraft. What do we have in Gaza? They're fighting an armless nation that has nothing, a poor nation. What can we do?
Israel said on Tuesday it would step up its Gaza offensive, which had claimed the lives of at least 195 Palestinians and 1 Israeli by Wednesday.
Over to Syria, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad was sworn in for a new term as Syria's president after an election which his opponents dismissed as a sham, but which he said proved he had achieved victory after a dirty war to unseat him. With the win, he launches his 7-year term in his securest position since the early days of the 3-year-old war. At his inauguration, Assad delivered a defiant speech, vowing to recover all Syria from Islamist insurgents. He also warned that Western and Arab countries would pay dearly for supporting rebels he describes as terrorists. Iraqi forces have withdrawn from the militant-held city of Tikrit. Their offensive met heavy resistance in a blow to the government effort to push back Sunni insurgents controlling large parts of the country. The failure highlights the difficulties of Baghdad's struggle to recapture territory from the insurgents who seized Mosul, Tikrit, and other cities. Earlier, at least 9 people were killed when 2 car bombs went off simultaneously in a popular market in Baghdad. The blast, which took place in Sadr city, also wounded more than 26 civilians, damaging a number of shops and street stalls. No group claimed responsibility for the blasts. And finally, moderate weather continues in the capital Amman and the hilly areas, with relatively hot conditions in the Badia, Jordan Valley and Aqaba. Winds overall will be northwesterly moderate to brisk. Temperatures in Amman will range between a high of 30 degrees Celsius and a low of 18. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news summary. I'm Khair. Thank you for watching and have a good night.